This film, man, it's just so sad. This film is directed by Sean Baker, who is the guy who filmed this movie on an iPhone. That's right, an iPhone. And I'm not gonna lie, that's impressive. I can't even take a picture on an iPhone that would look good enough to frame on my wall, much less a feature film. So, an iPhone, guys, an iPhone 5S to be exact. So, don't say you can't make it into Hollywood, kids. Apparently, all you need is an iPhone. So, anyway, this film stars Willem Dafoe, Brooklynn Prince, and Bria Vinai, and this film follows probably one of the least supervised group of kids, like, maybe ever. The saddest part is that they go out more than I do on a daily basis. But I digress. Moving on, the story is told through the viewpoint of Moonee, who is played by Brooklynn Prince, and if you've ever been a child, so, like, everyone, this film will evoke some sort of nostalgia in some form or manner. That's primarily why I found myself heavily invested in the fate of these children, because of the relatableness and the realness of both the script and the performances. I will say, if you've ever done something bad as a child, maybe you might have broken a window, but nobody was around to see who did it, and it was you who did it, and it was only a matter of time before somebody would find out it was you. So in the meantime, your heart is racing, and you're scared of what's to come. This film does that. And there's a lot at stake here, so whenever Moonee does something bad, it just brought me back and evoked those repressed memories. This film really organically builds and builds towards the climax of the film, and once it gets there, boy, that's when the performances on display truly shine. And Brooklynn Prince, man, like, wow. I see her having a career similar to Jacob Tremblay, who starred in Room, another emotional and good film, just because of the magnitude of their performances, but man, what she does here is impressive, almost on par with Jacob Tremblay's performance in Room. Willem Dafoe, what can I say? I haven't seen him deliver a performance of this magnitude since he was the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm only kidding. In all honesty, I related to his character the most. Initially, he isn't particularly fond of Moonee, and just as the viewer, once the film is starting, you're not attached to any character. But like his character, as time passes, he starts to care so much for these characters, like I found myself caring so much for these characters, and he kind of does it to the detriment of both himself, Halley, who is the mother, and Moonee. So, Bria Vinai plays a mom, and she's also good considering this is her first film, but this is very much a showcase of Dafoe's and Prince's acting, more so than her own, but she still did a good job. It's just that Dafoe and Prince's performances here are just stunning. Moving on to Sean Baker, my man. Fun fact, he recorded this film with a potato. I'm just kidding. His directing here, though, is exceptional. His screenplay, phenomenal. Deserves an Oscar nomination, seriously. He is the director, he is the producer, he is the writer on this film, he is the editor. Honestly, this film deserves some recognition in any of those categories, and he really deserves an Oscar nomination for his work here. The ending, though, it's abrupt, and at the end, the film builds and builds towards this very emotional, gut-wrenching ending to the film, and the film earned it by all means, but then it just kind of just, it just abruptly ends. And it'd be like if during the end of Titanic, when Jack and Rose are on top of the wooden door, and then it just ends, and you're just like, what? That's it. And it did take me a bit out of it. I felt emotionally manipulated at that point. But I respect what Sean Baker was trying to do, because there really isn't a resolution that would provide a happy ending, but you can easily piece together the most probable outcome. So now that I think about it in hindsight, I didn't mind it too much, though I was really, my emotions were going, and then 5 seconds later it's just like it's over, and you're just like, I'm still sad, but thanks. I guess. Overall, the directing and screenplay, extraordinary. Brooklynn Prince and Willem Dafoe, really extraordinary. And honestly, this is probably one of the best films I've ever seen. So, yep, that wraps up my review of The Florida Project. You guys must absolutely watch this. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.